Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
Basically meaning that a lack of knowledge equals contentment, or an absence of concern.
What's the difference between ignorance then and apathy?
See, apathy, you could be in the know.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week we choose a popular saying, take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, if we're lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins, but mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
I am Skitty.
Indeed.
Another day in paradise, friend.
It is paradise again. The sunshine is back.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful here.
And
it's mostly beautiful here.
What's that?
Except for like the 300 days of gray and rain. It's mostly beautiful here.
But, you know, we live in that mild climate where as soon as May, June comes, we forget the other days. Like, it's like the spring and summer are so great here that it's like, whatever.
It's like a memory wipe.
At least we don't get dumped on with snow. It's just miserably rainy gray.
It's just gray.
Yeah.
If you like gray, then this is the place for you. Which I know you do. I know you do love gray. It's one of your favorite shades.
Yeah. I mean, I have 50 favorite shades. Anyway, today goes a little something like this. Take a listen.
Ignorance.Is.Bliss.
Oh, I know.
Isn't that great
scene.
with a little harp?
I know that scene.
What movie?
That is The Matrix. That is Cypher, but his first. I'm gonna defect from the Matrix.
Yeah. So ignorance is bliss.
I know this steak isn't real. Yeah, it's beautiful. So good. Ignorance is bliss.
Now, obviously, ignorance is bliss is a pretty common one as far as our idioms go, basically meaning that a lack of knowledge equals contentment, or an absence of concern.
What's the difference between ignorance then and apathy?
See, apathy, you could be in the know.
I don't know, and I don't care. Let's just stick with the definition of ignorance is bliss. And I actually heard a lecturer talk about talk about ignorance this week. I had a chance to go listen to Dr. Jordan Peterson lecture.
Did you?
In Abbotsford? Yes.
You went and saw him live?
Yes.
Do I sound louder than you?
No. You could talk quieter.
Okay.
But either way.
So tell me about that.
Well, it was fantastic.
And he talked about ignorance?
Well, he talked this like you don't know 100%.
Or you felt ignorant listening to him talk?
Well, you had to be paying attention.
Right.
So, you're thinking, oh, those little clips you see on YouTube or something, and it's going to be all like that. Nope. It's going to be like a university level lecture. And if you phase out for a second, which I do every 2 minutes, just in regular life,
then you're out of context for the next 15.
Like, okay, what were we talking about again? Okay, I'm back. Yeah, you couldn't break focus.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was deep and fantastic.
But was there a theme or a subject that was that?
Well, the thing, he wandered around for about an hour and 15 minutes on just
without speaking
on so many. It's like, yeah, he was doing this thing on Alzheimer's. Just kidding. It was so
just wandering around the stage.
That's terrible.
Is he gonna speak?
No. So he, on that particular, like that you don't know 100% of what you don't know.
Right.
And that what you think, you have.
Well, that's Wayne Gretzky, isn't it?
You
miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
It's a variation, but that he was in on like the things that you think, like you have I know a bit about that, and how much about it you actually don't know. And then the things that you think you know, how much you actually still don't know about that subject. Right. And so it's just that we don't know a lot.
Right. Like we have no idea how many people are listening to this right now.
Exactly. And that's the same.
And I'm not joking.
That's like apathy.
We don't
know.
We stopped tracking it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think we got 50 episodes in and we stopped tracking everything.
And aren't you happier?
Well, yeah, don't care.
Ignorance is bliss.
It's just you and me hanging out, buddy.
Exactly.
Yeah, me and the Village Idiom children out there.
We'd never see each other if we didn't have to record.
You don't think so?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think we would for sure. Okay. And came across this. Regarding Which ignorance is bliss. So there was protesters, not at our particular venue, but when he was speaking in Kelowna, which is also in British Columbia. And so Dr. Peterson speaking in Kelowna, and they're the protesters. And I was like, I wanted to make sure I jotted it down to get it correct. Protesters were having petitions signed to shut down the event, citing Dr. Peterson uses his platform to oppose Canadian values such as free speech.
Is that actually?
That's actual true.
So him speaking. They're protesting him speaking.
Protesters getting to sign petition because Dr. Peterson opposes free speech. I'm like, ignorance is bliss.
That's great.
Yeah, that cracked me up. Yeah, you don't know what you don't know, or you don't think it applies to you somehow.
Maybe, ignorance of what you're saying is bliss. Like, are you hearing the words coming out of your face?
Well, you think on any given subject, just someone who would even be like the top of their field, whether a musician or an astrophysicist. If you're a musician, you think, no, I know like the notes. I can sing
You
a
sound
song,
like a
or I can-
musician.
and stuff. And
I know the notes
and
and
the bars
stuff.
and things.
You're winning me over.
But how much you don't know about like all like the subgenres.
100%. This is a guy who had a career in music.
Yeah.
And then I would get together with like musicians, like,
Right.
and they're
Right.
talking in another language.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, oh, I'm not a musician. I'm an entertainer.
Yes. That's such a brilliant.
It was an
direction.
awareness that I'm like, oh my goodness.
You are an entertainer.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I was in music.
So you're not concerned about all these and on third notes and this and that.
100%. Yeah.
It
It
was
was,
like-
and it's fascinating to listen
But you're the
to.
guy at the back with the big eyes doing like the little running man. That's you.
That's pretty much nail on the head right there. Okay, I got something for you. Unless you're continuing on that thought.
Well, no, I was. Excuse me. I didn't. It made me think of because I also work at a board game store,
Right.
and I fancy a board game. I enjoy me a board game.
Do you fancy board games?
Yeah, for once in a while, yeah. So I'm a board game advocate. Love the board games. Push the board games. Love the board games.
Played a new board game last night called Innovation. Have you played that?
I have not.
It's a great game. It was a lot of fun.
On this subject, my coworkers are board gamers. Like they are next level, like Zen Jedi.
So they play the
level.
game, but
I enjoy a game. These guys are in like they know.
they're board gamers. They're not board gamers.
They don't play games like because they're bored. Maybe they do, but they're not bored as in like they're apathetic. They are bored as in physical board players and know everything about every game.
Right.
And that kind of. But how much still do you not know?
My son Beetlebat, who's been on here a couple times, he's going to give you a run for your money in board game nerdiness.
Oh,
he's in there.
So as much as you think you know something about something, you have to know what you are. And I'm not a board game. I love board games. I work at a board game store.
You enjoy,
but I like people.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So those people interactions. Well, people say, "Well, hey, let's get together and do such a board game. Let's get together and do a board game." I'm like, cool. I'm like hanging out, snacks, fun drinks.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, you lent me a board game last time you were here,
Mm-hmm.
and you're, hey, here, borrow this for a little bit, lend it to you, and then you came and collected.
I brought it back like
and
2
then
days
the
later.
next day, like, hey, I told Beetlebat I got this game. He's like, let's play it. I'm like, I got taken back already.
Oh, I'll get it again.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. We played Innovation.
Okay.
Card game that has strategy with a lot of luck thrown into there, which sometimes can ruin a game. It's
For
like
sure.
too much chance, but it was so hilarious the whole time that it was like, that was a great game. I'd play it again right now. Then followed up with, because it was fairly in-depth, a lot of reading, like a lot of information to intake, followed it up with Jurassic World themed Uno, which requires no strategy.
Yeah, that sounds very like the monkeys could play.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's so what you don't know, you don't know, and what you think you know, you actually don't know a ton about.
Totally.
And yeah, so we don't know way more than we know.
There you go.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, so this is what I stumbled across. Super last minute. I found an online quiz called Am I Ignorant?
Oh, wow.
So I purposely have not looked at it.
Okay,
So
let's
if it
play.
goes sideways, we can just stop it. But
Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure, we invite you to play along.
So just
Illegitimate children. Am I ignorant?
this is give credit where credit is due. This is quizany.com. This is what it says. Am I ignorant? This quiz can't tell you how smart you are, but it can help you figure out how much you know compared to the average person.
Okay.
Take it to find out if you are ignorant or informed. And it does say this test is not based on any scientific study whatsoever. It is intended for fun only. Do not treat the results too serious. Here we go. I'm pressing start.
Okay.
First question. Is Allah of the Quran the same as Yahweh of the Torah and Old Testament?
No.
Okay, we're just going to rifle through these because I don't know how many there are, how much discussion there is. What causes global warming? Is it humans, nature, or both?
It's both.
Next question. When is something unconstitutional? When it is unjust? When it is an action by a member or members of government that contradicts the Constitution? Or an action by anyone that goes against the Constitution?
What would you pick?
I picked
Same.
the last one. What state did the Flint water crisis happen in?
That's Michigan.
Michigan, yeah. The students that test best in the U.S. are from what state? Massachusetts, Illinois, or California?
Oh, those are all terrible.
I
I
can't be
would,
California.
I wouldn't go Illinois or California. I'm going to go Massachusetts.
Boston. Yeah, Boston. It's Ivy
MIT,
League.
yep.
Yeah. What percentage of American families are in farming? Oh, there's 29 questions. Are we going to go through this?
Well, you know what? We're a quarter of the way there. Illegitimate children.
All right. What
chime in.
percentage of American families are in farming or ranching? 2, 16, or 25? I bet you it's pretty high.
You think? I'm going to go 2.
Yeah? I'm going first answer.
You think 16?
I was going to go higher, yeah. But
Yeah.
we'll go with 2. What is net neutrality? A, it prevents websites from charging you to use them. B, it prevents internet service providers from charging differently. C, it helps cable companies charge customers more money.
It's B. So internet service providers can't differentiate between traffic.
All right, when did people start saying season's greetings? Was it 2010, the 1990s, or before the 20th century? I bet you it was the 90s.
Do you think?
Oh, no, it's older than that.
Well, do you think this is a question related to taking the Christ part out?
I think so, yeah.
Season's greetings.
It's got to be before the 90s.
I don't know, but I'm thinking like in an Old English, just because their language was flowery. Season's greetings.
Right, so before the 20th century.
Yeah, that's gonna be my go.
So not even necessarily because they're removing Christ from Christmas, just that was language.
Yeah.
Okay. How many senses do we have? 5, 6, or 20? As many as 20. It's 5, right?
I think it's 5 senses. So there's
If we find out we have more senses through being ignorant today, is ignorance a sense?
we got that.
I have a sense of ignorance. I have a sense of humor. Oh, that's 6. How many people?
Well, do you think that one?
No, I think it's 5.
A sense of modesty.
Then it's endless.
Yeah.
If you could do a sense like that. How many people killed by police were armed and suspected of a violent crime? 69 or 31?
I'm going with.
I bet it's 69.
It's such a funny number. I think.
How many people
usage
killed
of
by
the word
police?
69. I immediately discard it.
Oh, hilarious. Armed and suspected. I think the police get a bad rap, so I bet you there's more that are armed and suspected, but a lot of people would say 31 because the police are always in the news.
We'll go with your 69. I think it's 31.
Should you drink an alcoholic beverage if you're very cold? Yes or no?
I'm going to go in general no.
I feel like I'm not a drinker, so I don't know. But
No, people will say, well, like, have a drink will
Warm you up?
Yeah, but it's just that burning sensation going down your throat.
All right. What are vegans in danger of not getting enough of? Iron.
Friends.
Oh, protein, vitamins, fat.
Is
protein.
Friends? No, Friends isn't there. Companionship. Vegans are not going to get enough fat.
Fat or protein?
We can get protein through
Oh, yeah.
like beans and all sorts of things.
Okay, let's go with fat. What is a major difference between Hindus and Buddhists? A, many deities versus no personal god. Wow, that's true. I already know. One is in India and the other is in China.
Incorrect.
That's not true. They are almost the same. Okay, I'm going first one.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Who is third in line to the presidency? Is it the Senate Majority Leader, is it Speaker of the House, or President pro tempore of the Senate?
I think it's the Speaker.
Kiefer Sutherland, isn't it?
Line of succession. I think it's the
Speaker
Speaker.
of the House. A lot of American stuff for these poor Canadians trying to answer. Is Puerto Rico a country? No, it's a
protectorate or something like that. Or it's a.
Oh wait, it's still a country. Not too late. I already clicked it. What does ignorant mean? Uninformed.
Mm-hmm.
Where are poinsettias, the Christmas flower? Thank you for. They already assume we're ignorant. They put in brackets.
Where are
the
poinsettias from? Norway, Hawaii, or Mexico?
That's interesting. Poinsettia. The name telling us anything?
Well, it is very beautiful. I would think a Hawaii, maybe someplace fun like that, or Mexico.
I bet it's Norway.
You think that a Christmas flower freezing? Hey, let's go big, beautiful red flower out in the tundra of Norway.
But it does grow in the cold, doesn't it? It's a Christmas flower.
I know we bring it in because it's a Christmas flower.
Hawaii.
I'm gonna go Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. Okay, we're doing Mexico. This would have been good to do separately and then compare notes. How many hours does it take to travel 240 miles? 2, right?
No.
If you're traveling 120 miles an hour.
Question can't be answered.
That's a good point. Okay, that was an option. Question can't be answered. Where do onions grow? On the ground, in a bush, or in the ground, on a bush, or on a vine? It's in the ground, right?
It's in the ground.
It's a root.
It's a root vegetable.
We're going to be wrong. Which way?
You pluck them off of trees like lemons.
Which way should you twist a screwdriver if you want to screw something in?
Righty-tighty.
That's right. What can you use an old graveyard for? To find water? To tell how old a city is? Or to tell which way east and west are? Oh, is there an east-west thing to a graveyard?
I like B, but I don't
tell how old a city is.
I don't think there was a particular. This would be. I wouldn't mind being wrong on this one. That back in the day they buried bodies
facing
west.
Yeah,
that makes some sense to me. But I'm gonna go how old the city is.
Yeah. Okay. That one we know. Just look at the dates. What kind of tree is a maple tree? Maple. Is it deciduous or evergreen?
I think I would have to go
deciduous.
Deciduous. Yeah.
Where on your body is a digit? Hand, face, leg, and hand. It's hand. It's your fingers.
My hand.
Which fruit has pips? Banana, peach, or apple? Yeah, peach pip, right? You spit out the peach pip?
Well, it's got to be a banana.
Because peaches have pits and apples have seeds?
Yeah.
All right.
Unless the seed is a pip.
Right. Or a pit is a pip. Gladys Knight had the pips.
Yes.
Were they a bunch of bananas?
Or a dye has pips.
Oh, is that called a pip?
I think so.
Oh. What's a pipple?
It's like a pustule underneath your skin.
Where does the phrase "make your mark" come from? Oh, that's my parents said that.
Make your mark. Our choices are blazing trails from your parents.
Blazing trails, drawing a line in the sand. This is an idiom answer. We should know this. I bet it's blazing trails. Because you make your mark, you've left an imprint of where you've been.
Okay, let's go with blazing trails.
If they're If they're the same size, which is more expensive, emerald, diamond, or peridot? I don't even know what a peridot is.
I don't know what a peridot is. I'm just going to go.
I think that's on a die too, right?
That's a paradise.
Okay.
I'm just going to go diamond.
Yeah, let's do diamond. I think it might be emerald. Otherwise, it would have been Diamond City.
How many weeks are there in a year? 52, 64, 52 weeks in a year. Let's see. Oh, one more.
When is 1,400 hours, Abby? Why does it say there's no such thing? These are what?
They're all wrong.
They're all wrong.
When
is 1,400 hours? There's no such thing. 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. Oh, it's 6 p.m. I was going the other way. I was going to... No, it is wrong. It should be 2, right?
It should be 2.
2 p.m. What? They're wrong.
These are all wrong.
Well, then let's go with this in case they're wrong. We'll do 6 p.m. They just did 2 hours the wrong way. Why is the sky blue? It's reflecting the earth because it isn't a color. All of the colors in white light scatter, but blue is slow. I think that's the one.
Okay.
All right. You are informed. You are not in the least bit ignorant. You are fully informed and functioning based on the information that you have. Now that you know what's up, be sure that those around you are informed in a gracious way. So we got 63% right. We were 14% ignorant.
Are you kidding? I want to know which ones, but we'll have to look at that later.
I don't think it's going to tell us. I think it's over. The game is over.
Wow.
Oh, no, you can click on it. Okay, let's just click on the ignorant.
The ones that we got wrong?
Oh, we'd like to show you notifications. No.
Yeah, but I bet you would. Anyways,
Now it's ads pops up. We're screwed.
Well, this
but we did well.
This other thing kind of pops up before we head into origins on this one. So, if you were to say ignorance is that you lack information, when you have like an all knowledge, people would say you're enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
And so ignorance is actually delighted.
So ignorance is bliss.
So ignorance is bliss.
Wow, that's amazing.
Origins, go for it.
I'm blown away by that. Let's end there. That would have been a great ending note.
I said
All right,
some
let's find
words.
out.
Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
You know, in some ways, it was good that we took that much time to play that ignorance game because it is a short. No, it's not crappy. Some are crappy. This one's not crappy, but it is to the point. So I'll give you a little history. Idiomatic phrases in general about the bliss of ignorance go back to ancient medieval cultures, but views of the nature of ignorance and its link to happiness were not restricted only to like the psychological aspect. So Socrates' famous statement, "I know only one thing, that I know nothing," introduces ignorance as a form of wisdom.
That's like
being
when
aware.
Leaving university, I'm like, I think I'm stupider now than when I came here.
That's education.
Yeah, it's like you just start discovering how little you actually know.
Totally. It's wisdom rooted in the acknowledgement of what you don't know. So likewise, there was medieval thinkers adopted positive views of ignorance in specific with respect to certain domains of knowledge. So this was another phrase I came across. The incapacity to attain the knowledge of God is a perception in itself. So just to be aware that we will never be at the level of an all-knowing, omniscient God is information in and of itself. So the actual phrase, this phrase was coined by the English poet and literary scholar who I think we've mentioned before. We got a little squeak here. Thomas Gray.
Okay.
So early 1700s. He lived from 1716 to 1771. But this exact idiom was in an ode on a distant prospect of Eton College. So printed in 1741, and this is what it read. To each his sufferings, all are men, condemned alike to groan, the tender for another's pain, the unfeeling for his own. Yet, why should they know their fate, since sorrow never comes too late, and happiness too swiftly flies, thought would destroy their paradise. No more, where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise.
You don't know what you don't know.
There it is. That is, we don't always get that direct of, it came from this right here, this date, this guy.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it was.
And there is a happiness in not knowing certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes the happy people, it's like you. And I actually think this is a bit of its own mental cancer is like perpetual news cycles where you're like, the more you're like finding out about things, the more it's like, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So just not knowing. Boom.
See, people could argue, no, it's always better to know, but they can't argue that people who are ignorant are blissful about what they don't know. You know, like you could argue, no, it's better to know, it's better to know. Maybe.
Is it?
But it is happier to not.
Your life is just so happy.
Like you could have 6 months of knowing you're going to die.
That's why my friends are some of the happiest people I know.
They're all ignorant?
Yeah.
Ignoramuses. Like, would you, if you were going to die in 6 months, would you want to know right now?
In 6 months? Yes.
You'd want to know.
I don't want to know particularly the how or the tragic if it's going to be, but I would just probably, there's a couple things I still want to see.
Oh, you'd like live differently.
Yeah, for the next
But
6
I mean,
months.
in your head about dying, would it be better to, if it didn't affect how you lived?
Well, I think a lot of people would do the same things. Like the world would probably shut down from people stopping going to the office or working or.
Right. If the whole world.
If everybody knew it's like, it's over in 6 months, it'd just be like,
Right.
Let's just have a party.
Right.
That's the 6 month, have fun, enjoy. The comet's coming.
Comment down below.
Read the comments. Perfect.
Yeah, there
well,
we
that's
go.
nice and concise.
I thought so.
Well,
and we're not ignorant, we found out.
No, that's a bonus. I really would like to have known what ones we really screwed up.
We'll go back to it. See
Village Idiom children, you could chime in if you're like, you guys are idiots. And you know which
Tell
ones.
us what we got wrong, yeah.
Well, it said what? We got 14% wrong?
No.
We were ignorant on 14 things? Or we were 14% ignorant?
No, I thought it was only 5.
We got 5 wrong.
Yeah,
But
5% ignorant. Oh, no, you're right. 14%. 18% somewhat informed. How are we somewhat? We either got it right or we didn't.
Maybe there were answers that were like clearly 1,400.
Like maybe that
1,400 hours.
we shouldn't have clicked on anything.
Well, how do you progress in the thing?
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever. Okay, it's all dumb. Let's get into some riddlings.
All right. Riddlink is a game we like to play. It takes a 2-part trivia-based question, requires a 2-part overlapping answer, overlapping by sound, syllable, word, or word. So, for example, last week, our idiom was hang up your hat. And we left you with this idiom. I don't know if you've given it 2 thoughts since we did it, so try and guess this right now, Skinny. Davy Crockett's hat is my co-host.
Oh.
Davy Crockett's hat is my co-host.
That is a coon skinny.
Coon Skinny.
Coon skinny.
Yeah, so we got coonskin and skinny, but independent, they're not the answers.
Raccoon.
It's together and overlapping is the answer. Coon Skinny.
Perfect.
And that's how you play Riddlink.
Okay, well, I've got a couple prepared. Let me go ahead here. I'm happy because I don't know. I have a skin bubble filled with serum, plasma, blood, or pus. I'm happy because I don't know. I have a skin bubble filled with serum, plasma, blood, or pus.
Oh, you know, it's funny. I know what it is now. It's Ignorance.Is.Bliss.
Yes.
But because I made up a word earlier and said, what's a pipple? And you're just like, it's a under the skin pustule. I'm like, is pipple a thing? Am I supposed to use the word pipple? It actually made me... Like, did I set you up for your riddling?
You are not ignorant.
Okay, I got one for you.
Okay, illegitimate children. See if you can beat me.
The English poet that coined the phrase "ignorance is bliss" is probably Jerry Lee Lewis's greatest hit.
To tell us again.
The English poet that coined the phrase "ignorance is bliss" is probably Jerry Lee Lewis's greatest hit.
I can't remember the guy's name. It's
50,
Great Balls of Fire.
50 Shades of him.
It's because as soon as you said it, I wanted to say Christian Grey to tie in the earlier thing, and then I can't remember his actual name.
Thomas
Great Balls of Fire.
That's it.
Yeah, immediately my mind started spinning out a joke. Anyways, whatever.
It still would have been a riddle.
Thomas Great Balls of Fire.
That's right.
The GOAT, number 23, is a renowned Canadian lecturer and clinical psychologist.
Nice. Say it again.
The GOAT, number 23, is a renowned Canadian lecturer and clinical psychologist.
That would be Michael Jordan Peterson.
Michael Jordan Peterson. Excellent.
Have you seen that movie?
I have.
Air?
It's awesome.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty great. Love it.
Okay, I got one more, but why don't you tell everybody how they can get a hold of us, how they can play along, how they could join us for dinner sometime.
Illegitimate children, join us for dinner sometime by sending us an Instagram message, an Insta message.
Or a telegram.
Any one of those things. I think Telegram's another app. So
No, that's Telegraph. Oh, Telegram? Is that an app? I think you're right. I was thinking a legit Telegram.
No, yeah, and then I understood what you were
Candygram.
saying. Send us a Candygram at the.village.idiom or email us thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Telegrams, the Candygrams at 3 minutes gone.
You're not a Candygram. You're the land shark. Candygram. What do you call it when you deliver a message by songs? Singogram? Songogram?
It's a sonogram, yeah. It's not a
No, like, you know what I'm
sonogram.
talking about? Like, I'm going to send a birthday... Is it just singing telegram?
Singing telegram.
Oh, there's no, like, cool word for it.
It's not a sonogram.
Here's the last one. 1,000 megabytes is like happiness in the lack of knowledge. That's it. 1,000 megabytes is like happiness in the lack of knowledge.
And that is 3 minutes gone.
It's almost exactly 3 minutes gone.
Well, friends, it's been a day. Of all the
Countrymen.
days you've had today, this is one of them. Hope you've
Of
enjoyed
all the
it.
days you've had today, this is one of them. Of all the days they've had today, this is the day that the Lord has made.
If you just say it fast enough, maybe someone won't think about it too much. I'm Skinny,
I'm Jurassic Mark.
and these are the Village Idioms.
So let's just say,
Ignorance is bliss.
And that's 3 minutes gone.